Recently, I gained some familiar for me notoriety on X or Twitter. I chose to post my Bachelor of Arts degree certificate from Delhi University, awarded to me for history honors in 1987. I posted this online. Immediately, online chatter exploded. My post was shared, denounced, criticized, and applauded. I got bouquets for transparency and brickbats for flaunting so called elitist, classist educational qualifications. Some saw my post as needlessly personal, others praised my openness. So, why did I, a journalist turned member of parliament, someone fortunate enough to have received an education at prestigious institutions like Delhi University and Oxford University, why did I put out my BA degree in the public domain? My objective in putting out my BA degree was not to exhibit or boast about my education. My attempt was only to reaffirm the oath that those in public life take to tell the truth in our election affidavits. The immediate provocation for my post was that on that very day, the Delhi High Court overruled an order of the Central Information Commission, or the CIC, asking Prime Minister Narendra Modi to make his college degree public. But why should such an order from the CIC have been necessary at all? After all, Modi's election affidavit shows that he holds a BA degree from Delhi University and an MA from Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. If these details are true, why should they not be publicly verified with proof if members of the public ask questions? Election affidavits are documents that every contesting candidate to Parliament or State Assembly submits to the returning officer along with nomination papers. These affidavits provide details not only of the candidate's educational qualifications, but also of assets, income, salary, properties of the candidate, including those of the candidate's family members. Now, I was elected as the All India Trinamool Congress's Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament in 2024. My affidavit, made publicly available upon filing it, became a bit of a talking point because of the income details of my spouse. Did I consider this chatter, this talking point, an invasion of my privacy? No, I did not. Those who are representatives of the voter and receive an income from the taxpayer are duty bound to be transparent about their modes of living. Under Section 125A of the Representation of People's Act, false election affidavits amount to false declarations and carry a 6-month prison term. It can, in some cases, even lead to disqualification of the candidate. It is thus vital that every detail in an election affidavit is true and verified. The truth matters. The truth is important. Narendra Modi holds the highest executive office in the land. He has been elected by voters and receives his income from the taxpayer. It is the foremost duty of the holder of this high office to be transparent and truthful about the details entered in his election affidavit, whether on assets, incomes, or in this case, university degrees. Public life doesn't begin and end with winning elections. Public life involves constantly winning public trust by upholding transparency in personal and government dealings. The public must have truthful, credible, and accurate information about those claiming to be its representatives. The clash between the public's right to information and the individual's right to privacy is, in my view, weighed on the public side when it comes to elected officials. Now, Oxford University, my former university, does not publish its alumni degrees publicly, but the Prime Minister of Britain, for example, or holders of elected office in Britain, do not have the luxury of concealing education and family details. Does a Prime Minister's university degree fall under the ambit of the right to privacy? No, it does not, particularly as these details are already in his or her election affidavit available in the public domain. The question is, are the educational details in Modi's election affidavit true or are they fake? Modi's university degree has been the focus of public controversy for over a decade. After allegations that Modi's degree was false were leveled by the Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal, the BJP held a press conference in 2016 in which Amit Shah and Arun Jaitley, the late Arun Jaitley, displayed Modi's degree certificate showing a BA from Delhi University. Doubts were raised at the time on how a computer-generated mark sheet was available for a degree obtained in 1978. RTI activists asked for certified copies of the Delhi University register. In the case that followed, in 2016, the Delhi High Court set aside a CIC order that allowed the RTI activists to examine Modi's 1978 degree. It is intriguing that none other than the then Additional Solicitor General Tushar Mehta appeared for Delhi University, arguing that such information constituted a breach of privacy under the Right to Information Act. It is precisely the government's attempt to withhold information on Modi's degree that are highly curious. What is so private about election affidavit information of the Prime Minister? Allegations and counter-allegations have continued. Modi's MA degree from Gujarat University, showing his graduation in entire political science, also became controversial. Further, the certificate spelt university as university. No corroborative evidence was produced that a course in entire political science exists in any university. So far, no university classmate of Modi has even come forward. Modi himself has claimed in speeches that he does not have a formal education beyond the village school. Meri shiksha nahi hui, Modi claims in an old video.
छोड़ के चला गया था at the age of 17. मेरी कोई पढ़ाई वढ़ाई नहीं हुई है दोस्तों, आपको शायद आश्चर्य होगा जान करके.
If the Prime Minister's affidavit claims he has both an MA and a BA degree, why is it so difficult for the highest office in the land to produce verified proof? Why has the BJP, since that 2016 press conference, adopted this cloak and dagger approach on Modi's degree, as if it has something to hide, as if the government has something to hide? Why does the Prime Minister's education have to be shielded by the courts? Why doesn't Modi himself break his silence and set the record straight on his education? There is no shame or embarrassment in stating that Modi does not have a university degree or has not been to university. What would be shameful, deeply embarrassing, and indeed scandalous is if Modi, India's Prime Minister, has lied in his election affidavit, if his election affidavit is fake. It is this growing opacity, this culture of secretiveness, this constant drive to somehow manage media headlines instead of sharing the truth with the people. This lies at the heart of Modi's degree row. The secretive doublespeak of the Modi regime, the hiding of the truth, the perpetual concealment and cover-up, the projection of glossy fiction over hard facts, the fudging of figures, the refusal to come clean. These are the hallmarks of an administration that appears mortally terrified of the truth. The glaring lack of truth-telling and refusal to honor the high standards of transparency in public life is the reason why Modi has never held an open press conference in the last 11 years, not a single press conference in 11 years. Mahatma Gandhi said, "It is more correct to say truth is God than to say God is truth." Gandhi wrote in a visionary philosophical formulation, "Satya is God. Telling the truth is an act of worship." For Gandhi, the struggle for India's freedom was satyagraha, a struggle for truth. For Gandhi, public life was about the pursuit of truth. The truth, says historian Timothy Snyder, is key to democracy. If nothing is true, then no one can criticize power because there is no basis on which to do so. Yet almost every decision of this Modi government is beset with a sidestepping of the truth and a crippling secretiveness. Secretiveness is the mark of a tyrant. It is a situation where the state recedes into darkness and opacity, even as high levels of transparency are demanded from citizens. Citizens must make Aadhaar cards, personal details, their personal records public, while VIPs recede into aloofness and unknowability. VIPs become as mysterious as the gods, suddenly appearing as quasi-divine visions to hurl verbal thunderbolts and then disappear again into the mists of inaccessibility. During the pandemic, a new PM Cares fund was suddenly set up. Until today, we still do not know who all are the shadowy donors to this PM Cares fund. When RTI details were sought, they were stonewalled under the specious argument that the fund was a private body. Now, since when did a Prime Minister's fund with members of the government involved in its setting up become a private body? This question has never been answered. Last year, it required active intervention from the Supreme Court for the donors to the electoral bond scheme to be revealed. 4 years after the pandemic, it was revealed that COVID deaths in India had been undercounted by lakhs. There are still no official figures on how many died during the great migrant workers' exodus of 2020, when a bizarrely sudden lockdown was announced without warning. All public transport was unexpectedly stopped. Migrants took to the streets to walk back to distant homes, many dying of exhaustion or accidents. How many died? We still don't know. In the monsoon session of Parliament that has recently been, the Constitution 130th Amendment Bill was introduced without warning, without giving the House time to study this bill, when convention dictates that Parliament is given 48 hours notice before bills are introduced. The abrogation of Article 370 on the special status of Jammu and Kashmir was again brought in through secrecy, not open consultation. The J&K state government was kept entirely in the dark. No prior information was provided that a full-fledged state, the state of Jammu and Kashmir, was about to be downgraded overnight to a union territory. Former Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik has said that he was informed of the decision only 24 hours earlier. A high-handed election commission secretively, stealthily, and unilaterally announced a special intensive revision or SIR exercise for voter rolls earlier this year. No dialogue was held with primary stakeholders in the voting process, namely the political parties. Without dialogue, SIR suddenly announced. On Operation Sindoor in May, aircraft losses suffered on both sides, India and Pakistan, became a matter of leaks and interviews to the international media. Citizens were not taken into confidence, nor were any details provided to Parliament. In the absence of true facts, speculation and rumors abounded. The Modi government brandishes its secrecy as a heuristic device, an exercise in showing off state power with a James Bond-style flourish or a mysterious Zeus wielding flashy thunderbolts. The culture of secrecy in the Modi dispensation shows that a democratically elected government is simply refusing to honor its duty to be accountable to those who have given it all its power. If you're not telling the truth, you're not accepting accountability. The controversy about Modi's university degree is not about insisting on elitist degrees or a classist obsession with prestigious institutions. It's about demanding that governments, their high functionaries, and all public representatives honor our national motto, Satyameva Jayate, let the truth triumph. Let us tell the truth.